Hey guys, I am in my kitchen today because I saw a recipe for an apple cider donut bundt cake. Covered in cinnamon sugar, looked amazing. Digging through the recipe yesterday to make sure I had all the ingredients, and I saw that I needed some applesauce. I thought, because I felt so inspired to make this recipe, that I would quick make a batch of homemade applesauce. And the reason I'm going to do that is because my lovely friend Shannon, shout out to Shannon, sent her husband up to Sitka, dropped off a care package for me at my house, and it is this big bowl of apples from their property down in Port Angeles. And oh my God, I was so excited. It makes me feel like the Midwesterner in me is like brought back to life. My family, when I was growing up in the Midwest, we used to go to apple orchards every single fall and pick apples. We'd go have apple turnovers with cinnamon ice cream. And I just feel like everything about fall and apple picking season feels very nostalgic to me in the best way possible. And I have made homemade applesauce many, many, many times in the past. It has been a while since I've done it because I do not have any productive enough apple trees on my property currently, although I'm hoping that will change in the next couple of years. And I'm just like really looking forward to doing this fall dessert. I think it'll be really fun, and I'm excited to drop it off as a surprise to my friends at their houses and see if they like it as well. And who wouldn't want to try an apple cider donut bundt cake? I mean, what? So let's get started with making some homemade applesauce so that we can make our dessert. Step one of making homemade applesauce is all of these apples need to be peeled, cored, and then chopped up into reasonable sized pieces. If you leave them in bigger pieces, which all these apples are really small, I've usually done it with much bigger apples, but you could probably get away with not chopping it too much. But you will want to peel and core it. I actually don't even think I own an apple corer, so I'm going to peel these all. Once I get them peeled, then we will chop them up into smaller pieces, and then we'll get going on making the applesauce. Hopefully this will be one of those really satisfying time lapses where you can see me peeling the apple and it all coming and filling up the bowl. On that note, let's begin. Okay, we got all of our apples peeled. The chickens and ducks and rabbits outside are going to go crazy for this, so that will go to them. And now we're going to slide this over. And it is time to chop these up. Now, I did notice these are imperfect apples. These are like backyard apples, you guys. And so there is a couple little bruises. They also made it all the way from Washington to our house in pretty good shape. So we'll just cut out anything that doesn't look good. And then you don't have to worry about this being perfect. If there's little bits of apple skin here and there, it is totally fine. Nothing I do in the baking world is ever perfect. And that is how making applesauce for me is as well. So don't stress about it. Just peel them, get them done. If you have one of those old school crank peelers, that would be the way to go. Although I don't know they would work for how tiny some of these apples are. Look at how cute this one is. Okay, let's chop these up. I'm going to add them to my bowl. Again, speed it up. No apples in our house go without paying the dog tax. Can you see it? Do you like that? Good job. Yeah, just the apple tax. Yeah. Good job. Okay, that's it. We got all of our apples chopped, and we have plenty of apple cores and peelings. for the animals outside. The rabbits, apples are their absolute favorite. So I'm going to give them a handful of these, and then the chickens and the ducks can fight over the rest of it. Not much fruit and vegetable scraps go to waste in our house. Almost every single thing goes to some animal in one way, shape, or another, whether it's Nuka, our dog, or one of the animals outside. Okay, next step is getting a pot on the stove. We're going to add all these. I'm going to add just a splash of water, and we're going to basically cook these down for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how long it takes. These are pretty small chunks, and so I don't think it'll take long at all. Now, the other thing you can add to the apples and the water in your pot is a little bit of cinnamon if you want some flavor. I'm going to do that today since this applesauce is going to be used in an apple cider donut Bundt cake. So might as well add a little bit of cinnamon to that too. It'll be very fall flavored. You're going to pour in all of your freshly chopped up apples. Pour in a little bit of water. That was about a cup or so. Sprinkle in some cinnamon or any other fall spice you'd like to add, like nutmeg, something like that. Grab your spoon to stir. Turn on your burner to medium-high heat, and then mix up all of your apples, cinnamon, and water. Okay, I am going to stand here and just occasionally check in on this, stir it every once in a while over the course of 10 to 20 minutes until all the apples are really soft. And then at that point, you can start to mash it up. If you have one of those potato mashers, that is a very useful tool. Okay, so it's been about 10-15 minutes and I have been stirring this. As you can see, almost all of the water has boiled off or evaporated, and all of our apples, you can tell, are really soft, and some of them already started to kind of mash up. So we're going to let this cool a little bit, and then we are going to mash it into applesauce. Woohoo! I've got some snacks for you guys. Would you like some apples? Some peels? You have to share those. Okay, I transferred all of my soft, still mostly hot apples, and they smell, you guys, so amazing. And so I have just like I really need to invest in one of those potato masher things because that would really come in handy right now. I was trying out a couple different utensils, and I think this one is going to potentially work the best. So this is just has like holes in it. It's actually a vintage silver like serving spoon from my great grandma that my grandma passed on to me, and it is going to come in handy to mash up our apples today into applesauce. Okay, I have a few chunks of apple left that I still need to smash, but I thought I would give it a taste test because it smells so good I can't help myself. Still a little hot. Oh my god, so good. Guys, this would be so good drizzled with some vanilla ice cream, vanilla cinnamon ice cream. Mmm. It literally tastes just like fall. I could just eat this straight out of the bowl. It's so good. Literally so easy. And you know, a lot of times when you look up recipes for making applesauce, they add sugar. That is not something I've ever done. I think that a lot of the times when I make jams or jellies or anything like that, including applesauce, I don't like to add any sugar. I think that fruits have enough sugar as it is. and it's healthier for you to not add additional sugar. And I like that I actually have little bits of skin kind of left around because it makes it a little bit more fibrous. And I like my applesauce a little bit chunky. But if you really want it smooth out, you could also put it into a food processor or use an immersion blender. This is pretty thick. I definitely let it evaporate on the stove, maybe a few minutes too long, but it's still absolutely delicious. Now I'm even more excited to make this apple cider donut Bundt cake. Is that what it's called again? Okay. I'm gonna let this cool, come down to room temperature. Try to stop eating it. I'm gonna make my dinner really quick, and then I'm gonna come back into this video and show you guys a time lapse of me making that donut Bundt cake, and then I'll share it with you at the end. Good morning. As you can probably tell, it is the next day. I ended up letting this cool till like 9 p.m. last night after dinner. And then by 9 p.m., I was like, now I'm ready to go to bed, and I do not need to be eating a apple cider donut cake at this time of night. So I let it go. I wrapped it up till the morning, and I came down this morning. My husband made me a lovely cup of coffee. And you guys, this is the best coffee cake. It tastes just like an old-fashioned donut because it's cake, instead of like fried. It tastes just like an old-fashioned donut, but apple cider, cinnamon sugar. It is so good. And I think the applesauce inside of it and the big chunks of apples that you get, like, it totally makes it because it keeps it really moist. It is so good. I am so glad I went through the process yesterday of making the applesauce so that I could have this cake for breakfast. So good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun to just kind of get into the fall mood and make some homemade applesauce. Shannon, thanks for saving those apples from the deer for me and having your husband bring them up and deliver them. I'm so excited. I hope you guys have a great day. See you later.